Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, and back to the World Puzzle Federation 2016 Round 1, and this is a killer Sudoku. Now, of course, these puzzles were created by puzzle setters from the Netherlands, and this is another Richard Stolk puzzle, which means it's both going to be brilliant, and because this is the highest point value puzzle in the entire set, this is a 76 point puzzle. This one is likely to be brutal. So we'll see how this one goes. There's a lot of cages in this one. So yeah, we'll see how this puzzle goes. So of course, there'll be a link below to this puzzle as well as to the entire World Puzzle Federation archive. Let's have a look at how this one works. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. And then the numbers placed in each marked cage must sum to the total given in its top left. So these three cells will sum to 17. These will sum to 16. These will sum to 15. These will sum to 6. That's a good place for me to start. These will sum to 11. And the same is true for all of the cages. Numbers must not repeat in cages. So we cannot repeat any digits in cages. They're the rules. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. If these must sum to 6. The minimum digits we can put in them are 1, 2, 3. Therefore, they must be 1, 2, and 3 because that sums to 6. I also see this 7 cage. Now, if 1, 2, 3 is the minimum, to get to 7, we have to increase one of those digits by 1. If we were to increase the 1 or the 2, we would have duplicates. So this must be 1, 2, 4. A 24 cage, the maximum digits we can put in are 7, 8, 9, which sum to 24. So these must be 7, 8, 9. An 8 cage, I've just noticed something and that may be terrible, but an 8 cage must contain a 1, and I can't put the 1, it doesn't have to contain a 2, but the 1 must be in one of those two cells. I don't really want to mark across boxes, but there must be a 1 in one of those two. An 8 cage is either 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. So this could be a 3 with this being a 1, 4, or this could be, yeah, actually, I'm going to do it this way. If it's 1, 2, 5, this is a 5 and this is a 1, 2. If it's 1, 3, 4, this is a 3 and this is a 1, 4. They're the only possibilities. But I just noticed every cell in the grid except those 4 has a total. And that would mean if I was to add up every cage, then I would know the sum of every cell except those 4. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. That's rude. And it might then force those to be particular digits. But that would mean summing up all of those cages. And that is a terrible experience. Like, if you're a setter, and I mean, for a competition, sure, and these were competition puzzles, but if you're a setter and you're creating something for something to be solved recreationally, try and avoid doing that. Now, I've done stuff similar to this with some of my puzzles for like really hard puzzles where I'm playing with set amounts, but even then I don't get people to sum more than like 4 cages together. And even then, I don't care if they have to write stuff down. But if you're, how many cages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I think there's 27 or 28 cages. Summing 28 different numbers. If you're asking people to do that in their head as a recreational solve, but I am going to do it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to open a spreadsheet and I'm going to put in the cage totals and I hope I get them all. So there's a 20, an 8, a 16, a 16 and a 20 in box 1. There is a 9, a 17 and a 14 in box 2. There's only a 26 in box 3. There is a 16, a 25 and an 11 in box 4. There's a 16, a 15, a 20, a 15 and a 16 in box 5. There is a 6 and a 12 in box 6. There's a 21 in box 7. There's a 7 and a 24 in box 8. And there's a 20 and a 16 in box 9. Now, That is a total of 386. Now, the reason this might be important is the sum of, let me just make the note of that, 386. Now, the sum of an entire Sudoku, this may not be important, the sum of an entire Sudoku grid is 405. And the reason for that is any Sudoku box contains the digits 1 through 9. And if you add those together, you get 45. If you multiply 45 by 9, you get 405. So we know that these digits are the difference between 405 and 386, which is 14, 19. This actually is not the way to solve this puzzle. So, sorry, Richard, I was like going at you for no reason. But what I might be able to do is look down here, because I know those sum to 30. Right. No. It's much more reasonable than that. These sum to 36. But we know the box sums to 35. So if this was a 9, this would have to be a 0. So this can't be a 9. There's a 9 in one of those two. And this has to be a 1 or a 2, because those two digits there must sum to 9, because it's 45 minus that 36. So if this is a 7, that's a 2. If that's an 8, that's a 1. I'm going to get rid of this yellow. So these sum to 10 or 11. That's much more reasonable. Can I do anything with that, though? Well, hang on. This has to sum to 10 or 11 without using 1, 2, or 3. So if this was summing to 10, this would be 4, 6. If it's summing to 11, I couldn't use 9, 2, 8, 3. I could use 7, 4, or 5, 6. Actually, maybe not. This is not my sort of puzzle. This is very much not my sort of puzzle. Is it this 9? Because that 9, if it doesn't use a 1, this is 2, 3, 4. If this doesn't use a 1, it's 2. I'm going to be terrible at this puzzle. If this doesn't use a 1, this is going to be 2, 3, 4, which would make this a 1, this a 5. And 1, 5 would mean that has to be 2, and that could work. If it does include, and this would be a 3, 5, yeah. If it does include a 1, that's a 1. And if this is a 1, these sum to 7. I don't... I may need help with this puzzle. Is it down here? 16 in 4. If I don't use a 1, if I don't use a 1 or a 2, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, which is over. So there must be a 1 or a 2 in here. But what's that telling me? Well, hang on. Can I use a 9 in here is the question. Because if I use a 9 in here, I then need to make 7 in the other 3 cells, which would be 1, 2, 4, which doesn't work. So there's no 9 in here. There is absolutely a 9 in this 20 cage. And then 2 cells that sum to 11, which isn't 9, 2. It could be 8, 3, 7, 4, or 5, 6. Is there any other cage that's close to forced? These sum to 36. So these 3 cells sum to 9. So the maximum I can put into any of those is 6. Because they're either 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 4, or 1, 3, 5, or 2, 3, 4. And I can't put a 1, 2, or 2 here. So this is 3, 4, 5, or 6. Yeah, puzzle is really designed for people who are like have the killer cage combos just in their head. These digits also sum to 9. I'm wondering if that means I can use the 15 cage entropy trick, but I'm not. It's probably something to do with that. Not the entropy trick, but those cells all summing to 9. Or, I'm not sure. Like if you look at column 1, there's all sorts of weird stuff going on. And similarly in row 1, but like the minimum sum of those cells, 6 different cells, is 21. But these cages only sum to 22. Because 8 plus 14 is 22. Oh, that's the trick. That's really clever. 14 plus 8 is 22, but the minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is 21. So I can't make those any larger than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this must be a 1 to get the sum to 22. These are 7, 8, 9. There must be a 6 in here. And there's 2 digits in here that sum to 7. But there's now no 1 in this 9 cage. So this is 2, 3, 4. So there's no 2 or 4 here. This is the 1. The 2, 3, 4 means this is the 5. These sum to 6. So that's the 2. That is brilliant. It's taken me 11 minutes to find the break-in, but it's brilliant. The 1, 2, 4 looks like making this the 3. This shouldn't have been a competition puzzle. This should have just been a puzzle shared with the world. This is cool. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. And 3, 4, 6, and 1 is 14. And there's no 3 or 4 there. That's the 6. This is a 3, 4. The 1 is looking down saying that's not the 1. These now have to sum to 7. Because remember, the 36 sum here means these have to sum to 9. So it's either 3, 4, 4, 3, 5, 2. So it can't be 5. This can't be a 5 anymore. Or 6, 1. But where's 1 in this box? It's in one of those two. And 3 is down here as well. And 4 is down here. This is 1, 3, 4. There's no 6 here. This is actually 1, 3, 4. So if this is 3, this is 4. And if this is 4, this is 3. So that's the 1. And this is a 3, 4 pair. And these have to sum to 15. And they can't be 7, 8. Or both of those would be 9. This is 6, 9. And this is 7, 8. These now sum to 15 with that being a 9. And that is the 5. This is beautiful construction. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 and 8. This is stunning. Can I repeat that trick? Probably if I was better at math. I'm not that good at math. Like, I wonder if I could do the same here. 16 and 25 is 41. But the maximum I can make 6 digits is 987654. Which is 10. What is... Oh, I'm not used to this. So it's 45 minus 6. Which is 39. No, so it doesn't work quite the same way. Except it's not. Because this being a 3 or a 4, the max... I could do 4, 6, 7, 8, 9... Hang on. 6 digits. 4... Well, hang on. I have to put a 1 or a 2 in here somewhere. If this was the lowest digit it could be, a 1... I don't know. If this is the lowest digit it could be, I'm trying to get the biggest digits I can in here. What I'm trying to do is, I'm going to get rid of the yellow now. The yellow's done its job. If I try and maximize these digits, so I make this a 1 and this a 7. So outside of these would be 1, 7, and 5, which is 13. So the maximum I could get in there would be 45 minus 13, which would be 32. I'm aiming for 41, so that must be a 9. That's crazy. And this must be 1, 7, 8. That's bonkers. That's absolutely nuts. There's no 9 in there anymore. That's the 9. So this isn't the 9. That's the 9. This being a competition puzzle is absolutely cray-cray. And now it just boils down to how well do you know your numbers? What are the maximum digits I could put in there? I don't know my 3-digit totals that well, but the maximum digits I can put in there now are 7. Well, I don't have... The maximum digits I can put in here now are 7, 5, 4, which is 16. So these must be 7, 5, 4, and these must be 2 and 3. Because 754 is 16. This... Can these be... Do I need a 9 in here? Yes, I do. I absolutely need a 9. Well, these digits here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are 7, 8, 9, but I need a 9 in this 20 cage. Because if this is a 3, these need to be 8, 9 to get to 17. And if this is 4, I need to get to 16, and I can't use double 8. So there must be a 9 in them. There's no 9 there. So this is the 9. This is a 7, 8, which means this is the 2. And this is either a 7 or an 8, depending on which one I'm aiming for. A 4 needs a 7 and a 3 needs an 8. Can I do more with that? I don't know. There must be a 9 in one of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there must be a 6 and a 9 in those. Oh, the 2 is looking down. This is the 3, and this is a 1, 2. So I now have a 1, 2 pair in this column. The 3 is looking up, making that the 4 and that the 3. These are known. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these sum to 11. So these have to sum to 15, and this becomes a 7, 8 pair. Ah! So this is a 7, 8 pair, and I can take 7, 8 out of there. This is only 6 or 9. Am I ready to use the entropy trick on that 15 cage yet? I could still put a 9 in it, I think. But this can't be a 7 anymore. One, two, three, four. These are 5, 6, 7, and 8. But there's no 7, 8 there. This is 5 or 6. Which doesn't stop this being 4, 5, 6. That does, though. This must be... I get to use the entropy trick on a 3-cell 15 cage. This can't be 4, 5, 6 because of that 4, 5. So this must have a high entropy, a middle entropy, and a low entropy in it. And the only high entropy available is a 9. There must be a 9 in this 15 cage. That's a 6. So this is either 9... 5, 1 or 9, 6, 2. Oh, this is the 5. So this is a 1, 9 pair. And the 1, 2 is telling me that's the 9 and that's the 1. There you go. Oh, these had to sum to 9, so I could never have put the 9 there. These now have to sum to 8. They're not 1, 7. They're not 2, 6. These are 3, 5. Okay. I'll take it. So if this is 9, 8, that would have to be a 3, and it can't be. So this is 9, 7 with a 4. The 9, 7 makes that the 8 and that the 7. And these, please work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, and 8. 10 plus 6 is 16. That's worked. Ha! Oh, that's cool. That is so cool. The 5 looks across, making that the 4, taking 4 out of both of those. The 1, 2 looks across, making that the 8 and that the 2. 5 takes 5 out of there. So 1, 2, this is a 3 for the row. So this is a 4. These are 7, so that's the 9. And I now know by Sudoku that these... Oh, I couldn't repeat 9 in this cage, so the 9 had to be up here, and I could have got that earlier. Doesn't matter. I found this, and I'm very happy to have found that way, and I'm very cool. Very cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 2, 6, and 8 is 16, plus 9 is 25, and that's just reinforced what I found. I'm very cool. 2 can't go in either of those, so that's the 2. This is a 6, 8. Very happy to have found it that way. 4, 5, and 7, which 4, 5, 7 looks up, making this the 8. 9 and 8 means that's the 3, which I could have got as soon as I got that 4, but I'm very happy to have found it that way. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and 6, which is 7. To get 7 to 11, I need another 4, so I can take 4 out of these. These are 5 and 7, which is 12, so I need another 9, so it's either 2, 7, which it can't be, so it's 3 and 6, making that the 2. There's no 2 there. Oh dear. I'll get there. It's fine. I'm having too much fun. The 1, 2 looks across, making that the 6 and that the 1. The 3, 5 looks across, making that the 7 and that the 5, which looks back, making that the 9 and that the 7. These are... Well, the 8 looks across, making that the 7, which makes that the 8, which makes that the 7. This 4 looks up, making that the 2 and that the 4. Something looks down. The 7 looks down, making that the 8, which makes that the 7. Taking 7 out of both of those, there's something else. The 5 comes out of there. This is a 6-8 pair. Great. 9 and 6 would be 15, and that would be a 5. 9 and 8 would be 17, and that would be a 3. The 3 looks down, saying that's the 5, so this is the 6. The 6 looks across, making this the 8 and this the 6. The 4 looks across, saying that's not the 4, so I've got a 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 3 and 7. And the 7 is looking down, making that the 3, which makes that the 7. The 3 looks up, making that the 5, so that's the 3. 3 and 5 is 8, so that's an 8. 3 and 7 is 10, so that's a 5, making that the 7 and that the 5. Oh dear. These had to sum to 9, so that's the 2, making that the 1 and that the 2. The 5 is looking up, making that the 6 and that the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6 go in. The 6 looks down, making that the 4 and that the 6. The 1 in this, I don't know, I'll get, yeah, so there's a 1 in one of those two. There's a 3 right there. So what are these? These are 1, 4, 8. 1, 3, 4, 8. 1, 4, 8 is... See, I'm terrible at maths. 1, 4, 8 is 13 plus 3 is 16. That works. There's no 8 there. 1 and 8 looks down, making that the 4. So that's the 1. That's the 8. The 4 looks across, making that the 2, which makes that the 1 and that the 4. And that is the correct solution to the puzzle. Yes, it took me 25 minutes to solve. It took me way too long to understand what was going on with that cage. This one I could have done if I was better at math. I used the entropy trick on the 15 cage because that had to be middle entropy. If you don't know the 15 cell entropy cage, how long have you been watching my channel? Because I use it all the time. That's just beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. I was really struggling, and I spent a long time going down the wrong rabbit hole on looking at these, which is fine. I'm not solving for speed, I'm solving for beauty, and this had beauty. This had real beauty. It just took me a while to understand. This is amazing. This turned out to be one of my favourite killer puzzles of all time. I love it. Thank you, Richard, from 10 years ago. Awesome. Great puzzle. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm recording this like 6 months before any of you guys are going to see it. I feel really sad about recording these sometimes, but it's really good to have the back catalogue. I found this out in the last month when I was put in hospital. Thanks very much, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the puzzles, and as always, good luck with your solving.